Hi, Total Recapped here. Today we will be going through the events of the 2021 action-adventure movie The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn. Now warning, this video does contain spoilers, so watch at your own risk. Now let's get right into the movie. The movie begins with Brian Derlin, aka Savant, who sits in his break room at Belle Reve Penitentiary, throwing a ball around at targets that he has meticulously set up. He even utilizes his abilities to kill a canary by bouncing the ball off of the walls. Amanda Waller, the senior officer of Task Force X, then pulls him aside as she assigns him a task. Blackguard, Captain Boomerang, Weasel, Mongol, Javelin, the Detachable Kid, aka TDK, and Harley Quinn, the main character from the previous Suicide Squad, are all thrown into Task Force X, which is also known as the Suicide Squad. A paramilitary group of super criminals who perform Black Ops missions to earn years off of their sentence. And before the mission, Amanda also places an explosive inside the head of the members so that whenever they try to act against orders, their heads are exploded. Led by Rick Flag, the team travels to the island of Corto Maltese for their mission. Upon arrival, Weasel, the animal-like creature, falls into the river and drowns, presumably because no one realized that he couldn't swim. When the squad lands, Blackguard emerges and explains that he was the one who led them to the soldiers waiting for them on the beach. He tries to talk with the soldiers with his hands in the air, but has his face blasted off as a result of his actions. Boomerang uses his iconic weapon to hack some heads off while Harley rushes in firing her special weapon. The arms of TDK snap off, allowing him to utilize them as weapons. He takes his arms to the soldiers and tries to distract them with him. In retaliation, these soldiers kill TDK and Javelin. Mongol tries to pull a chopper down, but it crashes, killing her instantly. Boomerang gets stabbed by wood and then shredded by the blades of a chopper. Savant is attempting to leave the mayhem while Harley and Flag become missing. Despite Waller's warning, Savant continues to run and the explosive in the back of his skull is detonated, causing it to explode and kill him on the spot. After that, Amanda sends her second squad in to complete the task. The scene then shifts to 3 days before. Amanda Waller seeks out to recruit Bloodsport, a ruthless mercenary known for putting Superman in the ICU with a kryptonite bullet. Amanda's weapon against him is his adolescent daughter Tyla, who is facing prison time for stealing. As the father-daughter duo argue loudly, Tyla asserts that Bloodsport was a horrible father. He suggested Tyla stay away from the wrong deeds. Later, Bloodsport visits Amanda and threatens Waller with releasing Tyla, but she tells him that she'll do it only if he agrees to join the squad and be the leader of the team. After some time, Bloodsport agrees to join the team and Amanda starts showing him his team members. He first meets Peacemaker, a patriotic mercenary like him who could use anything around him as a weapon. After that, he is introduced to Ratcatcher 2, who has the ability to control rats and keeps one named Sebastian close by. King Shark, an underwater prince with a taste for human meat, and Polka Dot Man, a man with an unusual genetic disorder whose specialty is throwing weaponized polka dots. Everyone in the squad seems to have a special ability. Waller briefs the squad on the mission and begins to describe the scenario in Corto Maltese. The country was overthrown by a tyrant named Silvio Luna and his right-hand man, General Mateo Suarez, after the presidential family was executed. They're working at a Jotunheim, a Nazi-area research center where they're carrying out deadly experiments codenamed Project Starfish. The squad has been tasked with tracking down Dr. Gaius Greaves, called the Thinker, so that they can travel to Jotunheim and eliminate whatever is going on there. After that, the scene shifts to the building where Luna and Suarez are admiring their creation, a massive alien starfish. At present, Team 2 is making its way through the jungle. They notice the blast happening on the other side of the island. Amanda answers them that it was her plan to send 2 teams so that the second one could pass across the boundary easily. On the other hand, we see Harley Quinn approaching the seriously wounded Javelin. He hands her his weapon and asks her to use it whenever she is in need. The soldiers of Corto arrive there and apprehend Harley. We also see Flag getting caught by another group of people called Freedom Fighters. At night, Bloodsport notices Polka Dot Man releasing polka dots from his body and transforming himself to normal again. King Shark is hungry and is about to eat the Ratcatcher, who is asleep. Bloodsport does stop King Shark by firing some bullets at him. Everyone gathers around where Ratcatcher is about to release the rats on King Shark. Bloodsport gets frightened after seeing the rat and he confesses to everyone about his situation. Ratcatcher then sends her rat away and befriends King Shark. In the next scene, Amanda gets the location of Flag and communicates with the team to go collect him. They come across a bunch of mercenaries who they assume are working with the military, so the squad kills them before they reach the camp where Flag is hanging out with his contact Sol Soria. Sol Soria is a political rebel whose team, the Freedom Fighters, is attempting to reclaim Corto Maltese from Luna and Suarez. Her crew, however, was the one that the squad had just slaughtered. Sol Soria is enraged with the squad for murdering her friends. Flag apologizes on behalf of the squad to her. Later, she advises that they proceed and assist her in completing her task. When the crew emerges from the forest, they find Polka Dot Man glowing in various colors. He says that his condition arose as a result of his mother's work at Star Labs, where she experimented on him and his brothers in order to bestow superpowers on them. His condition forces him to drain the dots from his body or die, and he considers every one of his enemies to be his mother before executing them. Before traveling to Jotunheim, Flag demands that they rescue Harley. Harley has been kidnapped by Luna's men and is being held hostage in a pit with her wrists tied. She is then given a lovely gown to wear and escorted to a location where the soldiers inform her that Luna is on his way to see her. Luna approaches her and invites her to his chamber in order to woo her, since she is viewed as a symbol of anti-American anarchy throughout the country. He charms Harley at first, and he even asks her to marry him. He then announces his plan to use whatever is in Jotunheim to destroy anybody who challenges his dictatorship, even if it involves killing children. Well, it becomes clear that he is serious about his goal, which irritates Harley, and she kills Luna, prompting his men to apprehend and arrest her. When General Suarez learns of Luna's death, he rejoices since the entire island is now under his command. He tells his men to get ready to torment Harley and attack other countries in order to get his revenge. After that, Sol's associate Milton takes the squad to a bar named Legatia Amable, where they will meet Thinker. On the way there, Ratcatcher inquires of Bloodsport as to why he is terrified of rats, since he is always recoiling near Sebastian, despite her assertion that he sees the good in Bloodsport. According to Bloodsport, his father once punished him with rats, which caused him to develop a fear. When he questions why she is so attached to rats, she says that her father, Ratcatcher 1, taught her how to handle them while also treating them like family, but he was a heroin addict who died from an overdose when she was a youngster. Bloodsport and Ratcatcher make a commitment to each other that they will look after one another. The squad arrives at the pub, but King Shark must remain behind since he will stand out. The squad then proceeds to the bar and takes a seat at a table. Before they notice Thinker, the mediator informs them that they can drink and dance. After some time has passed, Thinker enters the bar and is recognized by Bloodsport. He approaches Thinker and apprehends him with the help of a gun. Meanwhile, the military comes in to search for everyone since they know that there are Americans in there. Bloodsport sends Ratcatcher and Polka Dot Man outside with the Thinker, while he, Flag, and Peacemaker are all taken into custody by the military. On the road, the three subdue the gunman and kill the driver before their van runs off the road. Ratcatcher, King Shark, and Polka Dot Man arrive with Thinker in another vehicle driven by Milton. Meanwhile, Harley is being tortured for information by Suarez's men, but she refuses to give up. When she is left alone with her guard, she snaps his neck with her knees and uses the key from the guard's pockets to release herself. Harley then goes on to shoot down Suarez's guards before grabbing some blades and Javelin's javelin and slaying the guards. Outside, Flag leads the squad to Harley's rescue until she arrives and joins them. She is overjoyed to learn that the crew has arrived to help her. They then summon Thinker and instruct him to transport them to Jotunheim. With the aid of her rats, Ratcatcher is able to disable all of the CCTV cameras. Once inside, Thinker takes the squad to Starro the Conqueror, a monster he nicknamed Starro. Peacemaker and King Shark planted explosives across the building. Because the US government has been secretly sponsoring Corto Maltese for decades, Thinker explains to the squad that the experiments involving Starro were organized by the US government. Starro also emits miniature starfish that attach to human faces and take over their bodies like zombies, and the facility is filled with the bodies of Starro's other victims. In the next scene, Starro manages to get away and grabs Thinker, ripping him in half and splattering him all over the place. Flag tries to obtain the hard disk with evidence against the American government in order to give it to the press, but Peacemaker turns against him as per Amanda's instructions. Flag nearly chokes Peacemaker to death, but he is saved by a piece of broken sink, which he uses to stab Flag in the heart. Ratcatcher witnesses this and grabs the flash drive while Peacemaker attempts to kill her. Meanwhile, Bloodsport, Harley, and Polka Dot Man fight to escape the collapsing facility. King Shark stumbles across a little fish that mirror him until their tank is destroyed, and they begin to leech onto him. Bloodsport makes it over many stories before landing and witnessing the Peacemaker preparing to execute Ratcatcher. The two mercenaries pull their weapons and fire at one another, with Bloodsport's bullet piercing Peacemaker's and striking him in the throat, knocking him out. Ratcatcher offers Bloodsport the hard drive and explains how the United States government was behind the entire project, including the Flag's killing. Meanwhile, King Shark is shot by Suarez's men outside the building. The gunfire has no effect on him, and he rises and eats the head of one of the gunmen before the rest of the squad flees as Starro comes out. Suarez orders his men to take down Starro, but it releases even more starfish that kills Suarez and his men, and then proceeds to make its way into the city. Amanda receives a signal which was lost before to communicate with the team and declares the mission over since the evidence has been destroyed. But the surviving members want to save the city. Amanda threatens to detonate their devices and kill them on the spot until her subordinate, Flo Crawley, brains her with a golf club and has the rest of the team guide the squad to save the city. Now at the same time, Soul and her team execute the remaining members of the regime to stop their coup and take their country back. While King Shark jumps onto the alien and begins to bite into it, Bloodsport dons his mask and begins firing away at Starro. Polka Dot Man sees Starro as his mother and sends out his polka dots to burn Starro's leg, but he is crushed in the process. Ratcatcher tries to summon the rats with her beacon, but Bloodsport pulls her aside before she is attacked by Starro. She then uses the beacon to summon nearly every rat in the city to kill the infected citizens and begin hunting for Starro. Bloodsport becomes terrified after a bunch of rats start crawling past his body. Harley then thrusts the javelin into Starro's eye, breaking through just as the rats make their way inside and take Starro down from the inside. Starro's nerves are being bitten off by rats, and Harley is loving the sight of blood streaming within Starro's body. They are ultimately successful in murdering Starro and saving the city, and the squad's bravery is reported on the news, and Tyla is seen acknowledging her father for saving Corto Maltese. Bloodsport calls Amanda, threatening to disclose the evidence of the laboratory to the public unless she lets the team and Tyla go free. Amanda grudgingly accepts and orders the chopper to return them to their home. Sebastian creeps onto Bloodsport's leg and begins to pet the rat while he and the squad relax. In the final scene, we see the weasel is still alive and begins wandering through the Corto Maltese woods. Amanda's employees, John Economos and Amelia Harcourt, are escorted to a chamber where they discover that Peacemaker is still alive since Amanda wants him to save the f***ing world, as Harcourt puts it. And that was my recap of the movie. I hope you enjoyed it. Now comment on what your favorite part was, and make sure to hit that like button, leave us a comment, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, take care and goodbye.